Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and you're back with Transport Fever Peninsula, where we're on the peninsula in Transport Fever. Last time around we built this electrified bit of goods delivery kind of behaviour, where the oil train, has started to make a sizable amount of cash. It doesn't have a name. Oh, phooey. Okay, right, well, we'll call this the Julius Hardware. There we go, Julius Hardware, which is named after my sports ball strong safety. No, I know. You either understand what that means or you don't, but there you go. Right, so we're now... great, good timing on that. It's driving through the mountain, but it's already making quite the pretty penny, I can assure you. So we're going to dip before getting into the meat of today's presentation. We'll dip into fun with spreadsheets. So let's call that up, and that's where I read to you some numbers because they're far too small to actually be perceived by humans. Right, so let's start where we always start, with the trains that are losing me money. The Rapture to Elmo, where's that? That's Elmore. No, it's not. It's somewhere. It's 54 years old. It's losing 220 grand. That's pretty fine, to be honest. And then we've got two of the new air routes there. So Hill Valley to Shermer, Hill Valley to New York. They're struggling to get passengers at the moment, but that will change over time. So I'm not too bothered about that. The transfer to Dark City is losing a bit of cash. It's the trains losing cash are the big worry. I go, one of my air routes just broke even. Arkham Ironside, Iron Forge, Iron Monkey, that's also losing a bit of cash, but not massively. Let's go to the good news. So the Industrial Continental Brick Train, or the big boy as we like to call it, that's making 15.1 million. That'd do. And then Industrial Oil Transit, this very train that we're looking at here is 5.3 million. Shipping Food is doing 3 million. The Gen 2 Minecraft mainline is now profitable, making 1.5. Excellent. And then the Gen 2 Toon Sitter Capra Elmo. It's not Elmore. What's it flipping called? Elmostrost Kipopom. Anyway, we're making a ton of cash. I let the game roll forward by a year, just in order to kind of rebuild my slush fund so that we can actually get something done. And I've rebuilt my slush fund. We made 34 million quid in profit last year, and that's absolutely wicked. So, as you can see already, we've just loaded up the oil train, and there's another full load waiting to roll out. That's good. We don't mind there being additional oil ready to roll out at source, especially when you look further afield and you look at all this fuel waiting to be picked up. So 174 for from Raccoon to Shill, Silent Hill, and then another 100 waiting to go to Atlantis. Fine. One ship on each line will completely sort that out. So it's not a huge backlog. But it is, keep an eye on that, would you? The other concern that we've got at the moment is that the number of conmats, construction materials, that we've got going on down there, that's starting to build up a little bit. So I think transitioning the route, Elmore, it is Elmore. Okay, good. Transitioning the construction material route to be a two-parter, I think might help us out, although it is going to hurt the old profitability there. Don't know. Anyway, we're going to get to something like that shortly after today's bombastic intro. So purely because I'm interested, we're zipping down to the other end of the line here, and we'll have a look what's going on back at the kind of the Minas Tirith Hill Valley interchange that we've got going on. We've got a passenger waiting for the plane. Oh, look, it's coming into land. You're kind of obliged to, really. I mean, anytime we're here and we see something coming into land, we'll just... Ooh, tasty. Right, okay, yeah. Are you carrying any passengers? Just purely out of interest. Just, come on, play the game. No. Oh, well, whatever. It's a glorious landing nonetheless. So we do have a bit of distribution to be handled here. What are we looking at? Commercial Arrow Food is absolutely stacked to bits. How many trucks have we got on that? 3. Yeah, let's bang another 2 on that, and hopefully that will clear the backlog. Because you get a backlog anywhere, as you well know, but I'm pointing it out anyway. Anytime you get a backlog, you run the risk of completely stalling your production line, and that's going to cost you a ton. Opal Blitz for you, I think. Right, 2. Really? Is that all? Yes, that's all we need. Just 2. 2 is what we need, and we're going to stick it on commercial Arrow food. Bring this up again. Set line all commercial Arrow food. Go to work. Okay, right. So that should alleviate that queue a little bit, but we've got to keep an eye on this stuff, otherwise we're going to end up in trouble. So what are we going to do today? What indeed? Now, I have pontificated previously. Look at all this oil waiting. That's great. Means that we can dial it up at some point in the future, and that's always good for a laugh. Now, I said about splitting the commats line, and actually I'm going to leave it alone for the moment, because if that route's making me 15 million a year, why would you mess with that? Instead, we're going to, and this is potentially interesting, we're going to try an overland route. Do we want... I've got 2 overland routes I need to do. Number 1, go from Alpha Complex up the coast to Mega City 1. And do that with passengers. We'll tag along for a little bit of freight action, but that's number 1. There's other places we've got to go with that as well, but that's number 1. Stop saying that's number 1. Number 2 is do something similar, but with the freight line here and head over to Rapture. And if we do that, this is what I've already decided. This is what we're doing. If we do that, we can then take the Alpha Complex route and bend it round to go out to Rapture as well, which will link the Minecraft main line up with the route that heads into Rapture. Okay, everybody's going to the Rapture, and that includes you. Right, first job. Let's have a look at this. Now, we've got to get these 2 lines here to do something that this tunnel entrance here is not going to like. And, I mean, I say it's not going to like it. I mean, it's really not going to like it. I don't think there is anything I can do here that it will not absolutely hate. All right, so we do have some other options. No, you don't. We kind of have some other options. Option number 1, we take the track here, which is what the big boy runs on, and we thread it through onto the end platform here. We then need to do some kind of junction there so it can actually head up the mountain. Possible, ugly, probably. The second line bends out this way and goes in to get the oil. I mean, that's absolutely fine. And what we could then do is double track this up, double track the tunnel, take a spur off to head up to Rapture. We've already spent some of the money that we would otherwise be spending. Option number 3, make this work. Bend it round this way, go over the island chain. I think we nuke this bridge, go round this way, hop onto there, swing it around the corner, and do some kind of elegant coastal meander to get to, haven't decided, over here in Rapture. Well, that one sounds like the best thought out, doesn't it? So let's do that. Right, okay, and electrification for sir? No. No electrification today, thank you. Right, if I just go in a straight line, somehow that hasn't upset anyone. It has if I do that. Oh, it wants to put a crossing over there. Well, that might not necessarily be awful. It might be, though. Might be awful. Well, what if we flatten it out? I mean, you know, there's a couple of things to consider here. Firstly, you don't have to look at it. It's in a tunnel. And therefore, if it's ugly, no one will know but you and the several thousand people who watch this episode. Well, yes, that's surely a consideration that we need to take. Let's back it up to there. Do you think you'll be able to get double track over that? It appears that I'm doing this, you know. Also, are you just going to remodel this in the future anyway? Yes. And that's what the future's there for remodeling things that you should have done a different way in the first instance later. Right, there we go. I've got a bit of double track on there. That's super duper. Do we need double track on here? It's debatable, but we've done it, and therefore we've got it. Now then, let's now wiggle you under here because we want to get past the that has gone underneath the oil line. Brilliant. Right, 71 is perfectly fast enough. In fact, I'd say probably 60 is fast enough. Why do you want such an aggressive corner? Well, no, you haven't got a good answer for that, have you? If anything, you want a really civilized kind of corner like that. All right, okay. I'm going to double track from the get-go, purely because that way it's done. It's going to cost a lot, but I've still got 60 million quid's worth of loan available to me, which is, that's a lot, and you better believe I can spend it quite quickly. Right, so if we emerge out there, let's have a look at what height we've got, because I don't think we've actually got a bit of a climb. If you look where we're heading, you can probably make it out in the distance. So there's Rapture, and it is pretty much at water level. So if we stay at water level, we should avoid having to do too much jiggery-pokery with regard to messing around with elevation. The only downside to it is, of course, it's very expensive to tunnel through everything, and you don't get to see the glamorous whatever it is that you've built. Yeah, are we going Jolly Green? Really? Everyone's going to complain if you go Jolly Green. I mean, look at that. That's horrible. That's not horrible, obviously. No, we'll go with this. We'll go with this brick number. There we go. Right, that's what I have decided is the right thing to do. Not because I put any great level of thought process into it, but purely because it seemed like it felt like it might work. That's okay. You're going to need to cross over just outside the tunnel there, and you're then going to need to plan out an onward route that way. And later on, you are probably going to switch the big boy over onto this end line here, and that's assuming you don't expand the hub entirely. Well, all of these things are certainly viable, possible, and likely. So there's that. Right, bridge. You're absolutely... What do you mean you're going to cost me £500,000 quid to bulldoze a bridge? Couple of sticks of dynamite. Plant them up, walk away. Oh well, it's in the way, so it's gone. Right, time to hit the bank manager. Well, when I say hit the bank manager, I don't mean go in there, thump him, and run away with the booty. No, I mean go in there and go, hello, bank manager. He'll go, my favourite customer. How much would you like to... what can I do for you today, sir? And you say, no, you were right the first time. I want a lot of money. Why is this 7 million quid? I'm not doing anything that dramatic with it. Can we... What if I go over here? Well, that's 12 million quid. Well, that's quite a lot of cash, isn't it? Yes, it's also... That's the way you want to go. Now, you had this notion... Where's your grabber point gone? Where has your grabber point gone? Is it hiding under that 156? They had a notion about doing this, right? So come out like that. And to be fair, that does give us a branch opportunity to head out that way. But that's, I mean, that is some godforsaken landscape you're going to have to carve through to get that way. And then wind it around here a little bit. I mean, you always aspire to this and then wind it around here a little bit. And it never flipping works. Because you kind of go, oh no, slow them to 20 miles an hour. And you kind of go, yeah, it will do. Also, you are going to burn through the whole of your cash monies just building ruddy bridges all over things. Well, yeah, I suppose I am rather. Right, back her up. All right, backing her up. All right, get it in a straight line. And then we want to run, if at all possible. Wait, thank you. We want to run, if at all... No, I've confused everything. If at all possible... Oh, yeah, you're back with the program. We want to run this where we interface with islands as much as possible. I see you saying that. That's still 6.3 million. It's made no difference whether I pillar or don't pillar to the overall cost of the thing. Yeah. You're still hell-bent on trying to get this to bend around the corner, aren't you? I think it will look nice. Okay, well, look. You know how we've got a system that we use on a regular basis here, which is once you've spent it, then it is. That saves £500,000 quid. Well, it actually saves about 600, 700 grand, so we'll do that. I know it's put a bit of a dip in the track, but it's a gentle one, so nobody's really going to mind that too much. Somehow I've still got 14 million in the bank. That ain't that good. Right, okay, so how's that? 75. I think that's the speed limit on the bridge rather than anything else. There you go, 83. 83's all right. 1.3 million to get round this corner. The double tracking has taken a back seat for a moment. Yep, we'll do that. and then we'll try and continue this curve around here and see if we can't mountainside that a little. I don't think that's going to work. So if we try and stick to 83 as our kind of downward limit, 81's acceptable. Yeah, and then what? Head straight through there and curve it some more. I don't know. I'm just going to wend me way, to be honest. I'm just going to, you know, generally meander a little bit while keeping the track speed up. Line speed, I suppose you'd call it, but track speed, I think, is exactly the same thing. And I got to there. Because it's all about having a route that is, you know, it's worthy of looking at. We're not actually changing elevation, are we? No, so it's all good. Now that's nice. But now we need to think about where are we actually heading to, and this is the point at which normally I would stop building this stuff and go and figure out where I'm putting the station. So I'm going to go over here and figure out where I'm putting up the station. Now what we've already got here is we've got the food processing plant with a you know, this square idea built around the outside of it. We've got train lines running there and there, both of which are desperately in need of modernisation. I'll get to them. Don't you fret. We've got a bit of road that was clearly doing something at some point, but isn't now. So let's get shot of that. Yeah. See, I mean, there's all manner of opportunity going on here. Name one. Well, there's that. Yes. There's some bloke in a house over here who's just kind of going like, oh, I live here. No, stuff you all. I don't care. I don't need neighbours. I hate people. Which is lovely for him. Right, we want our station facing this way, right? So we want it running in parallel with these passenger tracks, because then it at least gives us the choice, whether we decide to use it or not. At least gives us the choice of continuing onwards to further destinations. The thing is, first, how many tracks are you going to want on here? 2. If we need any more than that, then I'll build it later. All right, well, if you're going with 2, you're going to have to do something. These train lines are not going to be easy bedfellows to play with here. If we whiz this around the other way, it would be nice to have it in range of that truck stop, but there is nothing to stop me moving the truck stop. Right, I just want to get a quick terrain kind of height measurement here. No, I'm not going to use the terrain, the whatchamacallit, the ugly tool. No, I don't want to use that. Come on, look, you're not doing that much groundwork. I'm sure you can figure out how to make this kind of level. It's not that big a deal. And you know what? Bendy flipping platforms would certainly help at this point. I don't know why I haven't got bendy platforms enabled. It's the kind of thing that I usually enable, but I haven't. So, you know, we play the cards that we are dealt. Okay, all right. Option B, this side. Yeah, I know. But I mean, it's super and all, but good luck trying to get any train to come cross country into that. What about anywhere? What about anywhere, indeed? Anywhere around here would be kind of good. I'll get close enough. I mean, I don't know how other people play. Do you, here you go, here's your subject for comments-based discussion today. Do you try and work with the existing infrastructure, let's say you've got a project like this on the go, or do you kind of go, just find me somewhere where it'll fit, and I'll make the existing infrastructure think it was doing it this way all the time, and I'll bludgeon my way through. So if I were to pause now, what have we got? 14 million. That's tons of money. Right. I'm going to pause. We're going to knock out this rail bridge. Yeah, I know that's it. You know, you could say that's excessive, but it's not. This is all part and parcel of achieving any level of success at all. I think we might have left a little bit of track there. That's well, maybe not. It looks like we have, but we haven't. So we haven't. Now, obviously, that line was built at a time where I had barely a pair of farthings to rub together in a sock. I didn't even have a sock, and therefore it was built going like please don't spend too much on groundworks. They're very expensive, and I can ill afford to do all of that. These days, however, we just kind of go, no, mate. What? 2 million for smoothing? Yeah, you got it. No sweats. Anytime you like. I've broken 3 things. That's okay. I'll unbreak them in a moment. But first, I want to get a rail line in here, and I'm going to make it so that that rail line works in harmony with this one that's coming down the mountain. You're excessive smoothing now. You are smoothing stuff that does not need to be smoothed. On the plus side, see, look, straight in. On the plus side, it is actually fairly cheap to do so because it's quite smooth here already. Right, how does that look? Well, that looks great. I mean, you're too close to it. Let's run 3 tracks instead of 2 because that gives us an outside lane. Let's spin this round the other way so that we get the road connection with that truck depot a little easier, which hasn't helped on the 3 track side of things, but there it is. Now, see, this would be ideal were it not for the fact that I'm going to have a hell of a time connecting up the station there with the road. So what we're going to do, and this is always dangerous because this tool can be a bit of a savage. We'll go low brush strength, decrease the size to that, and then just knock us a bit of a trench in here, would you? Alright, if I can get that station just a smidge lower down, I know it's going to hurt later on because we've got to get up a flaming enormous mountain. But if I can get it in here now, see, occasionally I sort of know what I'm talking about. Right, we've now got the food plant is in range, which is awesome. We've got the truck stop in range, which is great, but ultimately not that big a deal because truck stops are highly expendable. Right, I'm just going to stick that in there and then make it work. Right, now I want this outside, well, I guess you'd call it the inside track. I want this inside track to form the bridge over there now. Right, old bridge, be gone. You were beautiful, and a very nice arrangement coming into the platform station platform, whatever. But you're not going to work with what I need you to do now. So we've got 2 choices, right? So we go this way, and actually let's check this on a kind of elevation basis. It'll probably collide with stuff. It doesn't, which to me says you should probably do that then. And then if you do that, then those have got to get underneath this, which means a very steep downhill to start with, and then try and get under the current non-existent pillar gap you've got there. Now, with a little bit of tunnelling, that will work. But we've got to pull a right angle to get to wherever the heck it is I ended up with my rail bridge over there. Now, I mean, it just means it's going to be a slow corner. And that in itself is not too big a problem because, you know, we're at the station approach and blah, 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 blah. I always do this at station approaches. So we'll put, I'd use the modern steel bridge. The main reason to use this, right? I mean, yes, it's horribly ugly. But the main reason to use it is these pillars are really skinny. And therefore you can snake all manner of business under them. And no one's any the wiser. Stone bridge, concrete, steel, it's nice. That's nicer. Actually, these are quite skinny as well. That would do the trick, but I have yet to commit to that course of action because plan B would be coming down this side, right? And this one doesn't collide either. My goodness me. Lady Luck really is spinning me the sunshine today. And then, of course, you've got no issues at all. Those two just bend outwards on a straightforward right angle. It's less exciting. Does it have to be exciting? All right, okay, look at the other end. Which one is going to be most likely to link up with that? Well, I've got some news for you. Is it none of them? Because this is already doing a maximum downhill, and you're going to have to put a helix on a passenger line to make it work. And let me tell you, you really don't want to do that. Yeah. Oh, it's a challenge. It's a puzzler. Is that? I'm going to do... All right. We're going to do it the difficult way. Because it's more interesting in appearance, and secondly, there's a really high likelihood that it doesn't work at all. and then I'll have to bulldoze everything, and there'll be the wailing and the gnashing of teeth, and everybody likes that as a moment in life. Right, you sit in there. Now, here's the problem. It's not going to work. And the reason it's not going to work is because there is no way I can connect. I mean, we'll try it, but this dog is not going to. It's not even not going to hunt. It's going to, it's going to take a dump in your slippers and then look at you funny. Yeah, that's tricky and challenging, and tricky, but mostly tricky. Right. Okay. Now, if I then, what are you doing first? We have 2 challenges ahead of us now. I've created a challenge moment. Challenge number 1. We wend this round here, declining all the way, and come in along there like that. Rendering platform 3 somewhat, if not wholly, redundant. Challenge number 2 is zip those under there as previously described. Right, let's try that first. That feels like something I could possibly actually accomplish. Right, so you need to... No. Don't make any guesses vis-a-vis. He's going to want us to maintain altitude because he always does. Today he doesn't. Today he wants you to sink, to flood all tanks, and head to crush depth. Right, come on, down you go. Now I've bent it out this way a little bit to give me a little bit more swerve space to get around the corner. We're going to try and hold 50 miles per hour. It's not going to last. Now we're on the station approach, so obviously trains are accelerating and decelerating at the time, so that we're not looking at interfering with trains that are rocking full speed. You go downhill, do you? Yeah, that's not going to. That doesn't work for me. No, we sure as heck am not going to be doing a level crossing. Why not? I raise a very good point with myself. Why not indeed? Interesting. Okay, all right. No, let's try it. Let's try it. No, it's not efficient. But, those of you who are regulars, which is probably all of you, you know that efficient is not my big dog. My efficient is nice to have. Particularly on lines that you're hoping will earn you cash. Right, okay, we're going to try a level crossing here. Now, rule number 1 for level crossings: level. The word is level. Level is the important word. It is the operative word in what you're trying to achieve. So we can make this get a bit higher. I'll make sure we can just pull that off. There you can. You've also made it so that it's not straight anymore, but it is level. Yes, it is. Well done. You going to want to rethink this? I am, but let's proceed and see what we get. Right, now, that's also going to need to be at the same level, and you tell you something, it pretty much is. So if we now do this, whip it over there like that, that's funky. And if it's level, if both bits of track are not changing in elevation whatsoever, you get an actually level crossing. Like that. And I tell you, it looks all right. It's terribly inefficient, but it looks all right. We'll go at minimum speed to get over there. But look, what it doesn't have is it doesn't have weight. What it doesn't have is it doesn't have a lump in it. Well, what's that then? It's a flipping lump. Don't put a lump in me track. Right, I can't stress this enough, but I get very upset with lumps in track, and sometimes I put up with them. Right, stick that about there, like this. No, stay on the flaming level. Right, you get round there. Is it going to lump it again? Now this is going to cost me 10 grand, right? So even if it does, we have not lost much. What suggests to me that we're going to get a lump is this jaggedy ugliness going on there. Have we lumped? No, that looks clean as a whistle. That does. You've got a bit of a kink in the track there for probably quite an aggressive bit of turning. Also, you might be swerving your way into the platform as it currently stands. Well, I don't know. Let's have a look. See, no problem. 27 miles per hour. Well, we really are pushing the envelope there in terms of what it will allow, because I don't think we can get an inner radius on here. Although I'm wrong. You can get an inner radius on there at 29 miles per hour. Something, coming into the station anyway. Something. How's that for lumps? If this is lump free, we're going to run it, you know. I'm just, you know, I'm letting you know. That's a thing that's going to occur. Yeah, we're doing it. All right, okay. Fab. And do you know why we're doing it? Because I haven't built one before. I haven't purposefully built a station approach like... Well, what's your problem? Come on, out you come. Do that. Yeah. And don't give me no gov when I try and get you to go around this corner. Oh, please don't give me no gov. Go on, you keep... That's it. Yeah. Look, there's a really short distance to go. You can do it. I believe in you. Yeah. Madness. I would certainly sooner have gone under or over or either in this case, but now we're not. No, we're doing that instead. Now, will you go down here without changing the complexion of this level crossing? You will. And that's not efficient either, because that's bendy too. Brilliant. Perfect. It is arguably one of the... Well, it's interesting. It's different. It's a slightly novel approach to doing things that is not good. No, I'm not gonna defend it. I'm not gonna tell you it's good when I know that it isn't. It's not good. It's bad, and that's bad, and this is bad, and bulldoze it. Right? No. I had a moment of insanity there, where I threw all of my standards out the window. I just went, I'll just build something interesting. Do something... Oh, dear. Do something that you've not done before. Unfortunately, bulldozing the houses like that, that's something I've done way too often, right? You know, find the road again, put the road back in, apologise profusely and go, it was an accident. You have my sincere apologies. Right, there we go. Yeah, sorry about that. However, that does afford us the opportunity to build a bit of road out of there. Now, there's no houses in the way. We'll do that in a moment. Meanwhile, back to the piece of track that you've been trying to build for 10 minutes. What are you going to do? Right, we're going to go 1 and 2 this way. Okay, 1 and 2 are going to go this way. Because, for the simple reason of, are you wussing out? No, don't wuss out. Try it the other way. So try building your curve first. Right, so go steep downhill. Right, we're not bending outwards. No, I'm not allowing you. Steep downhill. Keep going steep downhill. And then we will swerve at the last minute and get a bit of waterside action going on there. Okay. Well, when you say last minute, you mean sort of now, really. We don't have many more last minutes left to play with. Yeah, how much impact has that actually had? Well, if you keep that high, it's got a bridge coming up anyway, so increasing the height of that bridge is not necessarily a deal breaker. Right, can we get round here without, you know, completely junking all speed ever? Yes, you can. Right, okay, that's what we're going to do. We'll try that, and then the fight simply, we just reverse the fight in the opposite direction. We're going to try and get the over-the-top bridge to do something. The over-the-top bridge. That's a terrific piece of language you've got there. Oh, do hush. You are quite tiresome. Right, okay, so we'll do that. And then we will fling the other one over the top. But before doing so, where did I leave the other end of the track? Here's the other end of the track. Grab it, rip it, and there. Of course you can do it. It's just going to cost a couple of quid. In fact, you're only quoting me, what, 3 million for that? Crumbs. What if I hold shift so you're not... No? Okay. No, there's a lot of work to do there to get that to work. But, all right. That looks quite nice, and it's not that expensive. It doesn't work, but it's that's affordable. Right, get rid of this. There. Now, you. If I pull you off in a straight line like this, will you just cooperate with me immediately? Not quite. Real close, though. And I think the trick is going to be just maintain elevation a little while longer. Alright, okay, so maintain elevation a little while longer. Done. Now try it again. It is going to try and level. No, it's not going to try and level crossing it. Oh, good for you. And you missed your turning. There you go. And then that. Well, there's no collision going on there. That was, yeah, this is pretty much what I pictured as what I wanted to build. And I now have built it. And it was easy. And I'm going to stick, as a piece of celebration, I'm going to stick a box girder bridge on there. There you are. Easy peasy. Why didn't you do that first time? I don't know. I got caught up in the moment, I suppose. But, you know, these things happen. Right, just tidy that up a little bit. Just a little bit, though. We've still got some work vis-a-vis road action to cope with. And we'll start by road actioning up here. All right, okay, yeah. No, wait. I'm a little bit fed up of having super lumpy roads. So what I did there to avoid a super lumpy road, very good. You're actually filling people in on what you did there. That's sound. So what I did to avoid the super lumpy road was I did a short piece of flat road before then. You will be lucky to make this work, man. And victory. No victory. I think you're going to need to switch to a bit of medium country. Do something like that. And then onto there, you see? Like this. Except it's not going to work quite that easy. Back that up a bit. I know you were using city streets there, but you don't really need them. It's not like anything can actually build there anyway. Right, take that off at the right kind of angle and then whiz it around the corner a little bit. I don't think you need to go that abruptly downhill. I think this will probably do it. Like that, and then like so. Hey, that's not bad. It's not, is it? That's pretty good. You have kind of knocked the foundations out of the station a little bit, but you know you always do that, so that's less of an issue. And then, what do you want to do with this? Well, I don't know. Someone built it at some point. I can't rule out that it was me, but there you go. Right. Oh, I tell you what. We'll get underneath the bridge here. Oh, we really are. We are. Yeah, I know. And we got things. Then we got things crossing each other from myriad different directions. Too much slope and a terrain alignment collision. Well, I think this hole is part of the problem. It's filled with water. No. Can't do anything with it if it's filled with water. And yeah, I mean, you could bridge over it, obviously, but I can't smooth to victory there. In fact, if were I to try and smoothing on that, I would probably have what we in the trade call a crash to desktop, which would then lose everything that I have accomplished. I say everything. I've not actually accomplished very much yet today, but well, there's another way we can do this. Oops. There you go. That's fine. You can't say oops this time. That was willful. That was a purposeful piece of housing destruction. Do that. Yeah. Okay. I have done. Pray you don't get a bridge pillar here. Put the bridge pillar in first, then work to that, because the other way around is not going to make you happy. All right. I thought this concrete bridge, it does. It has got. I was going to say, I thought it had a speed limit of 99, and it does. Okay, yep, whack that along there. Now, 99 for a freight train is, it's kind of top-endish. Only when you start to get the really big kind of, the brute force electrics do you come anywhere near. You're trying to build roads now, track, off-road. That's, it's ugly. Yeah, I know. That's never stopped you in the past. All right, stick that on there. It's super ugly. No, it's not. It's not super ugly. If you continue in that direction, it just looks like, that's the angle that it wanted. And then what? Just rock it around up here. Yes. Not quite like that. I want to go something akin to that, and then this. There we are. it meanders. And you now have the opportunity to have neighbours. You probably won't. I doubt very much we're going to get anything built on there, but there it is. Right, I'm going to wrap it up there. I know I don't like it leaving you hanging in the middle of a project any more than you like being hung in the middle of a project. Probably you don't like being hung at all, but that's for you to decide. Because honestly, I've got another episode's worth of faffing around to get this to work. So what are you going to do there? It's got to be a bridge, hasn't it? It's got to be a bridge. We meet that halfway up the hill. It's got to be a bridge, and that's where we're going to pick it up. I've been Colonel Failure. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back soon with another one of the same. Subscribe to make sure that you keep up with the series, because no one else will help you with that. And I'll be back soon with another one of the same. So be sure to subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on that. I think I've caught myself in a temporal loop. Cheerio! Well, I've reached the stage of the game now where I've got plenty of money and plenty of ambition with regards to different projects that I want to pursue. The problem is staying task-focused and remaining on track to actually complete one project at a time rather than taking on 3 or 4 and then ham-fisting all of them. Well, yeah, I mean, that's par for the course. I mean, that's kind of my standard operating procedure is biting off more than I can chew. But I chew it, I will, and we'll get through this out the other side of it where, all being well, it should provide yet more profit to fuel yet more projects. The big stuff coming up, though, is to connect up the towns with passenger routes that I haven't done already, and then following that up by doing some freight routes as well. So there's still tons to do, and that's before you start going, you know, that aeroplane route you did, let's do some more of that. And so there's just loads still to do.